Welcome back. St. Lucia's Sister Isle Martinique has once again lent its efforts to the war against COVID-19. Fernell Neptune tells us more in this report.
The Department of External Affairs recently received a variety of medical items from the E-Club Caraïbe Association of Martinique on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The donation included wheelchairs, canes, tripods and walkers. Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Department of External Affairs, Guillaume Simon, notes the expression of generosity is not the first from the island of Martinique, nor its homegrown organization.
The E-Caraïbe Club has donated previously to the government of St. Lucia and specifically to the Department of Health. And so we're extremely grateful to the department, to the E-Caraïbe Club of Martinique, and of course, through our consulate in Martinique for those donations to the Ministry of Health to help in the fight against COVID.
The E-Club Caraïbe Association is an institution offering club services to Caribbean men and women. These services aim to develop friendships and social actions in the region. Procurement Officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Alison Jha, says this donation was not the first from Martinique during the COVID-19 crisis. Jha also expressed her gratitude to the island of Martinique and the organization.
We are very pleased to receive this donation. It's a donation of wheelchairs, canes, walkers, and we know that it will go a very long way in meeting the needs at our healthcare institutions. The wheelchairs will be distributed not only to the wellness centers, but also to other agencies who rely on, in some instances, on support from the Ministry of Health.
The current COVID-19 pandemic has strengthened the centuries-long friendship between St. Lucia and Martinique. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fernell Neptune.
As of Friday the 26th of February, Babonneau resident Dennis Daniel is now a proud member of the 100 Not Out Club. The witty centenarian speaks of how discipline and respect for others helped him reach this major milestone. He implores today's youth to embody these two traits so that they too can live long and fruitful lives. Rochelle Gonzalez tells us more.
Dennis Daniel of Babonneau has survived 1 world war and 2 pandemics among other major world events to celebrate his 100th birthday on Friday. The centenarian celebrated his big day at the Babonneau Church to give thanks for his long life. Daniel spoke about his habits in his younger days, remembering how healthily he ate, and even joked about his dancing days as a popular young ladies' man. But he said the most important qualities that shaped his life was good manners. Daniel's daughter echoed her father's statement, saying that he raised his children to be respectful and disciplined.
Raising us, he was very strict. When he says something, he expected you to do it. If you would not listen without you knowing he coming, you just feel a lash on your back. You just feel just wax on your back. Because you're somebody, when he say do not do something, he would like to see you listen. So it was a bit hard in disciplining us. Yes, he did a good job. But as you can know, some of us took the advice, some of us did not take it.
Father Celestin Nwakwo led Daniel's birthday church service and said to reach such major feats is a reason to celebrate.
It's a thing of joy and a time of thanksgiving and to glorify God for the gift of longitude, long life, which is very rare today in our life and in our world. So we thank God that Babonneau has always produced centenarians, and this one another one, and I'm sure there are more still coming. But as I talk about during my homily, he is a blessed man, because the pandemic we have been going through since last year, it just occurred to me that really he was born 4 years after the first pandemic in 1917. And then you can contrast as a child. I'm sure he didn't know what was happening. Now in his 100 years, I don't know how much he knows about the pandemic. But in everything, he has lived all these great moments in our life that has really defined our lives. So we thank God for him and for his life and for his family and for Babonneau in general.
The overall sentiment shared by the masses attendees was for the centenarian to live out his remaining time happily and comfortably. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Parliamentary representative for Micoud North, Dr. Gail Rigobert, has promised fisherfolk in the constituency that the new jetty will soon be completed. Dr. Rigobert says works on the jetty are progressing well.
Parliamentary representative for Micoud North, Dr. Gail Rigobert, has promised fisherfolk in the Micoud village that soon they will be outfitted with the jetty which they have been agitating for. Dr. Rigobert says she appreciates the need for a jetty. However, there have been many hindrances that had to be worked through.
I continue to ask the fisherfolk for their patience. I know, especially given that sargassum has returned, the usual problems again beset us, and that is having to wade through the sargassum to access the vessel. I know in the past we've had engines that have been damaged because of the sargassum. I really beg for your patience, and we are working very closely with the Ministry of Agriculture, especially the Fisheries Department and the Japanese Embassy, to ensure that this project can move ahead very, very swiftly.
Dr. Rigobert explained that there have been many consultative meetings, all of which point to the jetty being completed in quick time. She says Micoud North should be enjoying the jetty before the year ends.
In the meetings that we've held with stakeholders recently, we did indicate that by February, which is this month, that the bidding process would have been completed. I am well advised that a Japanese contractor has been chosen, and as I explained previously, that contractor will then engage a local partner to begin the construction of the jetty. According to the timelines that we have received, it is expected that the jetty will be completed by mid-year and ready for use. As I explained on the last occasion, it has been a long process. We have suffered some delay, further exacerbated by COVID-19, but we are on track.
She says she anticipates that the jetty will benefit not only fisherfolk, but seamoss farmers and beachgoers as well. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. When we return, the latest weather forecast.